Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Hey, Mama Bees, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. There seems to be some people that are going really hard for Angela Oakley. And everybody has the right to their opinion, but Angela is not one of my favorite people. Okay. And I've made that very clear. You can be Team Angela. That's totally okay with me. But as it stands for me, I'm not Team Angela or Team Porsha. Anybody that watches my channel, they know who my favorites are, and that is Shamia, Drew, and Kelly. And then Cynthia when she's there because she's just not always available. But those are my faves on the show. Now, I've said it multiple times. What Portia said was disgusting about effing on somebody's husband. That was disgusting. But I just feel like Angela was placed on this show for a reason. She was put here to be the bone carrier and to start conflicts with all of these ladies. Okay. And that's her job. Somebody has to do it. But when it comes to the person for me that's bringing the heat this season, for me, it's Drew because Drew knows how to throw fun shade without being messy. And in my opinion, Drew is the one that's carrying this show because ultimately it's going to get to a point where Angela is going to have conflicts with all of the ladies. Okay. She's gotten into it with Britt. She's gotten into it with Portia. She got into it with I think Kelly's next because she said that she heard that Kelly was talking about her. So I feel like Kelly is her next victim. Okay. So she's just all over the place or whatever. And for me, she doesn't fit in with the show. But again, everybody has the right to their opinion. I had people accusing me of siding with Portia. Like Portia is not giving anything this season. Okay. A lot of people had high hopes for Portia living in the mansion, talking about it. Initially, we thought that we were going to see her with Simon, but after she filed for divorce, okay, so now we thought we were going to hear about the divorce, but we're not getting any of that from Portia. All we're getting from Portia is her beef with Drew. And the word out here in these streets is that the reason why Portia is coming so hard for Drew is because she's still sleeping with the hot dog man. Okay. And that could potentially be true. And Mama B says Angela gonna write a check her ass can't cash. For her to say that crap to Britt about having stretch marks around her mouth was viral. Oh my God. Mama Bees, I missed that. Is that what she said to Britt? And when did she say this? Was this a clip for the upcoming episode? Because I missed that part. And then it was Angela coming for Britt about her license when allegedly you got the same issue going on. So Angela is just coming off as a scammer, trying to be this and that. But the same thing that she accused Britt of, after people finish digging into her background, she has the same thing going on. Yes, it's in an upcoming clip. Okay, gotcha. And then the thing about that is, you know, she pretended to squash the beef with Britt when they were at the, what was it, whiskey tasting, just for her to get back to the house. And, when Britt shared the news that, they had squashed their beef, then she was on something different. And so now she's back to, saying things about Brit. Like, she's just all over the place. For me, I feel like she's doing too much, for the fact that this is her first season. Like, fill everything out before you just come off as being so aggressive with all of the ladies. And hey, Sharon, thank you so much for being here because, she initially was on Brit's side when it came to her and Kenya. Then she switched sides and told Kenya that she had her back. That's why I feel like Angela is here to be the bone collector. I don't think she's friends with any of these ladies. I don't think that she wants to be friends with any of these ladies. Angela is here to get her check. And if that means that she's the villain, then that's just what it is. So um, I just don't see it for Angela. Now, does that mean that I'm taking up for Porsha? No, I'm not taking up for Porsha. I've said over and over again that Porsha is out here looking like a 304 and she don't seem to care. I mean, even her latest post that she made on Instagram just really speaks to the fact that, she just feels like, okay, you guys think that I want to steal everybody's husband. So that's just what it is. Like, she's just accepted that she's been coined that person and she's okay with that. And I'm just trying to pull up Portia's post to read you guys what she said. Well, she didn't say anything, but she has it's the I guess it's the song that she has playing in the background to let everybody know that, she doesn't really care what people have to say about her out here on these social media streets. And Mama B says, to me, Angela doesn't fit in with these ladies. Exactly. I don't think she fits in. That's just my opinion. And Sharon says, Angela is just there for the check. Exactly. I'm trying to see, who does she remind me of? And another thing, I think she's here to take Portia's spot. That's why she's focusing in on Porsha. I think she's here to take Portia's spot because everybody just felt like Portia was going to be the leading lady in this season. But, you know, things happen. She ended up going through this divorce. She doesn't have anywhere to film. So now that spot is wide open for anybody that wants to take her spot. And honestly, I still feel like it's true because when Angela comes after the ladies, it just looks really, really messy. But when Drew comes after the ladies, it's just real fun shade. It's not, you know, too much. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely gets her point across. And like I said, Drew came to do what needs to be done for this show. Portia is somewhere sleeping. Like, she's becoming a miserable snooze fest because one minute she's being miserable, because of the divorce. And then in the next minute, she's throwing shade that goes below the belt, So Portia is not likable this season at all. Like, people just are not feeling Portia. I'm not feeling Portia. You know what I'm saying? She's just not giving what she was supposed to have gave, you know? And I think she needs to, I mean, well, it's too late. I don't know what she has planned for future episodes, but right now, Portia does not have a storyline, in my opinion. And Sharon says the way Portia is behaving, her spot is going to be easy to take. Exactly. And Aunt Trisha said, hey, Aunt Trisha, thank you so much for being here. I don't think I've seen you in a few days. And she says, hey, everyone, happy Friday Eve. That part. I'm so glad. I'm ready for this week to be over. So it seems like Portia and Angela might be in a battle to the death because it wasn't enough that she invited, Drew to Portia's birthday trip. Then you had to bring up the fact that she took Fallon's husband. Okay, Angela, haven't we already talked about that? Didn't Kelly call her out about that the very first season? Like, how much are we going to run that into the ground? Like, we're past that. Come up with something else. Like it's just like Angela is reaching for straws, and then she act like she was surprised when Portia said what she said. And I'm not defending Portia at all. Let me make that very clear. But when Kenya was going through everything that she was going through, the most response that I heard was, okay, when you do something to somebody, you can't get mad at their response. So I feel like Angela has been poking at Portia. So when she said what she said, that was her response. Not that she's going to do it, but she's just saying, like, girl, leave me alone. So that was just what she said at the time. So that's the reason why I mentioned that yesterday on my live. That was not in defense of Portia at all. Because at the end of the day, I really want to see Portia grow as a person. Okay. And that's just not what she's given. It's getting worse and worse. And a lot of people expect Shamia to call Portia out, but some people just don't kick people when they're down. You know what I'm saying? Shamia is supposedly her best friend. So why would she kick Portia when she's down? This is a TV show. She's just going along with the flow. Everybody will see and hear exactly what they see and hear, and they'll make their own judgments. But that is definitely not, Shamia's place to always call out Portia. Okay, just because she's her best friend. Portia's there to do her job, and Shamia is there to do her job. And the last thing they want to do is to start going at each other. And I totally agree, thinking XX. Thank you for being here. I don't think I ever seen you here before. And again, let me say this one more time. I said that what she said was very disgusting. So again, I'm not taking up for Portia, but I'm using the same rhetoric that people use when it was Kenya. And they were saying that when you do something to somebody, you cannot predict what their, response is going to be. So that's not in any way me taking up for Portia. I've said it over and over again. Portia is not my cup of tea. I would not have her around my man or my husband if I had one. Okay. So it's not that type of party. But thanks for your feedback. I really appreciate it. But I think everybody here is on the same page when it comes to Portia. And I think you missed the first half of the live, so you probably didn't see that. But yes, threatening to sleep with somebody's husband is very trifling. I totally agree. Thinking XXX. So guys, this show, you know, it's just kind of getting gutter. I'm going to continue to watch because, I like half of the girls, and then there are a few that's very questionable. But at the same time, I hope it gets better because it's not really given a lot. It seems like a lot of these ladies don't have a storyline. And usually, when people don't have a storyline, they just start attacking each other. So I foresee that there's going to be a lot of that in our near future. All of the girls are just going to be attacking each other, and then that's when the show kind of go down or whatever the case may be, because they don't have any real black excellence to show, because these ladies obviously don't have storylines. And then it has come out that two of the newbies, you know are accused of doing fraudulent behavior. So I'm still waiting on the Black excellence that we're used to seeing. Because at least with the OGs, on top of the show, these ladies did have a lot going on. But it seemed like all of the newbies, with the exception of Kelly, and I know a lot of people are talking about the fact that Kelly has, a lawsuit pending of about $150,000, give or take, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that her husband stole her money and he's not paying child support. And she has 3 to 4 kids to take care of. Hey, Cece, thank you for being here. And Mama B says, please like and share this video. Okay. So, Cece, I know you kind of touched on it yesterday, but what do you think when it comes to Britt and Porsha? Like, are you kind of neutral in the whole situation, or are you team Britt or are you team Portia? Because it seems like a lot of people are starting, who are fans of the show, are starting to attack people just because they have a difference of opinion, you know. And over here, you're welcome to have your own opinion. I love to hear other people's point of views, but please believe that I have my own opinion as well, okay? And I don't know where Angela is going to go from here. Um, Mama B's already shared because I haven't seen any of the new clips. I try not to watch the clips only because it's just like they put out so many clips, and by the time you see all of the clips, there's no need to watch the show because they've already showed everything. So I make it a point of not watching the clips so that I can just give a recap of the entire show, because otherwise every other day I'm just going to be reviewing clips, and I just prefer to recap the entire show instead of the clips. But yeah, I can't wait to see who Angela is going to come after next, because I feel like it's going to be Kelly. And one thing about Kelly, she doesn't sugarcoat anything for anybody. She's the one that confirmed that Portia did say that if Angela don't stop, she's going to F her husband. Kelly was the one that confirmed that. Okay. So, again, Kelly just tries to stay neutral and, you know, do what she came there to do. So I like that about Kelly. But it looks like now Angela is going to come for Kelly. So we'll just have to wait and see. Um I don't know, guys. This show ain't giving a lot. I don't know. I guess Portia let everybody down because she no longer has a storyline. So now all these girls are just going to be turning on each other. And I don't know if they're going to be able to save this show, because, in my opinion, I would like it if Angela didn't come back, and I would like it if Britt didn't come back. They can go. Britt and Angela can go. So. And guys, that's pretty much all I have on this. I'm just getting a little annoyed because, I get it. People don't like Portia right now. I'm not feeling Portia right now, but I don't like Angela right now. So everybody got the right to their opinion. And Mama B says, I want to see if Phaedra gonna come with some good Southern shade. Yes! I forgot about Phaedra. These ladies got me just so annoyed. I forgot about Phaedra. Like, when is she coming? Is she gonna be on the next episode? I'm ready to see Phaedra. And Cece said, I've been watching Portia's YouTube channel. I think she's funny. Portia is going to have to take her lumps with making that comment about Charles. She gave herself the 304 tag on a silver platter. I like the way you put that, Cece, because um, even though I don't agree with a lot of the things that Portia does, I think she's good for reality TV. I totally think that, she's good for reality TV. And so she's just going to be dragged. But what I'm not going to tolerate is people trying to drag me because they think I'm taking up for her. I'm not. She's good for the show. She's not one of my faves, but I still think she's good for the show and she's good for TV. And that's the reason why she's there. Okay. Hey, FMC. Thank you so much for being here, sis. And she says, hope you all are having a good Thursday. We are glad it's close to Friday. And Cece said, Angela has been online saying Phaedra is a clout chaser. Oh my God. Don't tell me nothing else, Angela said, because just not feeling her. I'm sorry. I can't feel her. Not Phaedra hasn't even showed up yet, and she's already talking about Phaedra. And Sharon says, I'm waiting for Phaedra to come. Hopefully she'll spice things up. Hope so, Sharon, because I really hope so. And I know some of you have seen the clips. Is Phaedra in the clips or not? When is Phaedra going to show up? Because I'm ready for Phaedra to be added to the equation. And Angela is probably only saying that because she knows that when Phaedra and Portia get together, it's going to be all she wrote for her. So she better have her fun now. She better clap back and make as many beats as she can right now because when Phaedra show up, she's going to be a non-factor. That part. Because she is just walking around starting beefs with everybody. And Mama B says, not for a few more episodes. Lord, please give me strength to get through it. I might need to take a peek at the clips that they already have out so maybe I can get some motivation to continue to, you know, cover this show. And Sharon said, to tell the truth, I fell asleep on this episode. Really, Sharon? I thought it was good, actually, because I did like it when Portia told Angela to kiss her A. I did like that. Just because I just feel like Angela is doing too much. Like, girl. And Cece said, I wonder if Bravo will bring Cherie in next season. The T is she dated Charles. Really? Hmm. That would be a nice mix to the show. And Alpham C says, it seems like Portia has tried not to show her real life as it pertains to her divorce from Simon, because that would open the door for the cast to drag her about how she got with him. That could potentially be true, Alpham C, but she's also under court order not to speak of Simon and not to film in the house. So I think that's why it was so important for her to start a YouTube channel because they didn't say she couldn't, do her YouTube in the house. It specifically said that she couldn't film on Roa in the house. So I think that's her way of getting back at Simon, plus inviting her baby daddy over to do a YouTube video. She is really trying to get back at Simon. And Cece said Angela is doing productions bidding as the bone carrier and ish starter. Next season, it may be someone else. Yes. And that's exactly what I said at the beginning. I think she's here to be the bone collector. And she's doing her job. And obviously, if she wasn't being the bone collector this season, this show would probably be even more boring than it already is, to be honest. So, you know, I still don't like her, but I'm just saying. If she wasn't, coming for everybody, then they really wouldn't have anything to talk about, honestly. So Next up, I think we're going to have a barbecue. Um, what does Cynthia call her place? She's going to have a Bailey Q. So I guess that's what we have to look for the next episode. And Alpham C says, hold up, she can't speak on her divorce at all. Not at all, Alpham C. She cannot speak on the divorce, which is why she does not have a storyline this season, unfortunately for her. Like, Simon made sure that she was not going to be able to shine on this season of Roa. And Alpham C says, that tells you how much I'm invested in the show now because I didn't even know Porsha couldn't talk about her divorce. Yes, she hasn't mentioned anything at all about Simon, other than the fact that she talked about Pilar and the fact that she sent him a text and he didn't, respond saying how much that Pilar missed him and that she was asking for him. And I believe that even when she spoke of that about Pilar, I believe that Simon had not, you know, took her to court to make sure that she doesn't use his name because that was very early on. And after she made that statement, Portia has not mentioned Simon at all. She's just mentioned the fact that she's going through a divorce, but she's not saying anything particular about her divorce, which is why she's depending on um, Dennis so heavily to film with. And that is so crazy that Portia and Drew are using the same person to film with. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. So that's what makes me feel like, you know, this show might get a lot worse before it gets better, before Phaedra comes on. Because, hey, Paula, thank you so much for being here. Is because these ladies just don't have a lot to talk about and they won't address what's going on in their real life. Like the fact that Britt's husband have been accused of being on the down low. And obviously Angela hasn't talked about the fact that, you know, they took away her privileges with FINRA. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm trying to give you guys a moment and to see if you guys have anything else to say because I'm going to have to wrap it up. And guys, if you have not done so already, please like the video if you didn't do so on your way in. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and drop down in the comment section so that we can keep this conversation going. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Cece said, do you think Portia wanting to film with Dennis is the reason she told Dennis to put his family first in the car? She basically made Dennis promise her that he wouldn't film with Drew. And that's why she was so upset at the dinner because she had just found out that even though he told her he was not going to film with Drew, he went behind her back and he filmed with Drew. So supposedly that's why she was so upset when they sat down for the dinner. And Alpha MC says, everybody have a grand Thursday and you do the same. And that's going to be it for now, guys. Bye.